This is Kathy Chase. As I said, nobody had the rights, including these people from high school, or the presidents didn't have rights to talk to media, whether it be newspaper or anybody else in media, about me, personal records or anything like that. At one point they were talking about my birth records and or my personal records, medical health records, which is against the law, and things such as that I do not want to discuss on here, but they were trying to use those things against me. I only have 3 children. I've only given birth to 3 children. That's really only my business. They had been spreading rumors that I was responsible for other people's injuries or something like that, which is false. They had tried to use all these different excuses, and then one minute they were saying I had a tail. I was born with a tail. I think at one point they said I was an alien. Then they said I'm Jesus or the devil once, and then yellow. Those were some of the things that I can think of that they were slandering me with. Now, I didn't start talking about them until it became in self-defense, when they were kept attacking me in different ways in my life, harassing me around town, following me around, which they probably will say, oh no, we didn't, but they were. There's probably witnesses out there. I don't know. And just the abuses that I've endured through Rob because of these people, and their slander that they're generating in media is illegal. I'm not threatening to get them killed. They're threatening to get me killed through the media, which that would make a lot of witnesses. Therefore, that proves that they are the instigators of the problems, acting as bullies and being, just wanting me dead because Rob wanted me dead to go hang out with other people. You cannot do that. You can't, if you marry somebody and you want a divorce, you can't slander a person to death to try to get them killed and that sort of thing. Richard Chase, just so your name's involved. Richard Chase never had the ability to put anything into my children's bodies, and neither did these other people from Southeast, including my body. Richard Chase, Kim and Tim Lassen, Shannon, they never had the legal abilities to put things into my body, and neither did Rob. Rob never got my consent to put things into my body. Between Shannon, Rob, Nick Hexum, and Shannon, Rob, and Nick Hexum, Richard Chase, Kim Lassen, between them, they're the ones that manipulated paperwork to put a pacemaker in my body. They wanted to use mental health crap, which does not even work. Those two are not associated with each other. You can't manipulate somebody's mental health papers, which everybody knows online are a joke because they're inconsistent, just like your stories. There are various stories, inconsistent stories about my life. The tales grow taller down the line. Lies. As far as the president's concerned, I've been in touch with the White House since Barack Obama's been in office, and there was never a time when he made a statement to me, because I know he has lawyers in which he could have said something along these 3 years. There were things that he could have legally have said to me versus talking to other people, which he could not do. He could not talk to other people about me. He cannot do that. That's illegal for him to do. This is personal, and he never had the right. the only thing I'm talking about is evidence. There's people out here who know that my evidence is pretty good. And as far as, you know, as far as him not wanting to talk to me, which is illegal, and talk to other people, shows a huge sign of immaturity and irresponsibility on his part, not mine. Because he could have sent a 1-sentence, 2-sentence message, cleared through his lawyers to talk to me, but he has chosen not to do that. And I'm going to state my name. My name is Kathy Jo Carolyn Chase. Kathy, Joe are two different words. They're not together. Maiden name Eggers, Eggers. September 20th, 1973 was when I was born. And what's happened here is unlawful. I'm not responsible for things that have happened to my life, to my body. And I'm not responsible to what's happened to my children's lives or their bodies. And you can't use places or people's names to create some sort of game in which you think you can use places and businesses to use sideways and people's names sideways to try to hurt somebody because you broke laws initially. You know, as I said, which is very, very relevant. And the whole time I've known Rob since 1990. We are now in 2012. It's a long time to know somebody, to have them start slandering you when they had 3 children with you, and then suddenly your 3 children were not good enough, and so his father never liked me or my family, evidently, and chipped them all up, which he could never do. So, Richard, you didn't have the legal ability, neither did these other people, neither did Rob. Nobody had legal ability to put any chips in my children. Nobody. There's nobody. Nobody in my adulthood, since the age of 18, has had a legal right to put chips into my body. So keep that in mind. There's nobody, not a single person. I am my own power of attorney. I've always been mentally healthy enough to make my own decisions, and that would be not one of them. I would not chip myself, and I did not chip myself. I would not allow other people to chip me. Unless, you know, it was the CIA or the FBI to try to protect me. That would be the only kind of way I would allow something like that. Those agencies to protect me. You know, as I said, otherwise there's none. And I talked about getting chipped if I got some of these out, but that would be a different type of chip. That would, if I was in a relationship. That was the only way I said I would do that is if I would get a chip, and then maybe have people who wanted to continue to know me get it that way, know me that way. Or if I was in a relationship, if I have a significant other again someday, that would be one way I would get chipped, but that would be it. But I have no plans of doing that at this time, and frankly, there's no future as far as me having new chips added to my body at this point, as far as me in the foreseeable near future, because it's difficult enough getting the ones that I have out, obviously, but you know, as I said, these people were only interested, they pretended to be my friend, he pretended to be my husband for 20 years, almost 20 years or whatever. I knew him since 1990, had Amber, got pregnant with Amber, and then we got married in 1994, right before she was born, and I did not entrap my husband with marriage, because Amber didn't come along until 1994. We had been seeing each other since April of 1990. We were together a long time before I got pregnant. It was an unplanned pregnancy, but that's none of anybody's business. But I didn't entrap Rob with the pregnancy. I know people had started rumors about that, and I think Richard had thought that at one point, thinking he could do whatever he wanted to me and my children as a result. I think he thought that I was after money or something in his family, which I didn't even really know about um, until recently. And then I don't even care about money. Nobody's been able to buy me in the past. Vern Jensen couldn't buy me. I didn't like him anyway because I knew there was something wrong there. And then my subconscious would tell me those things, you know. I just felt that I was uncomfortable around him because I just felt he had ulterior motives with my mother. Pauline Bruns, Social Security money, we used to get some of that. Nancy used to deposit some of that into our account every month to help with insurance costs. When I first had Amber, I was enrolled as a student at the time, and I dropped out, and so I had to get on the Blue Cross Blue Shield CHIPS program because I didn't have maternity coverage, of course, as a student. So I had to get on the expensive CHIPS program to cover that pregnancy. They gave us, for several years, we got money from Pauline Bruns Social Security. I don't know what that has anything to do with anything. Just to help us out, you know, to make ends meet and that sort of thing. And you know, as far as Richard's financial status, Rob used to say he had oil and ice maker stocks in hotel rooms, like the ones that you make that hotel rooms have. That's the type of stocks he told me he had, and then I talked to him about it in recent years. He said he got rid of them, and it seemed kind of shady to me. What I think now is that his stocks had something to do with me and making money off of my life, or, you know, he had monies generated from my life. Kind of, I don't know how you would, money laundering, pandering, or whatever, however you would make money by doing this, I guess. Monopolies of different types. So I know Richard Chase never liked me, and now I figured it out over the years, but there was really no reason for it because I was never liable for what had happened to me to begin with. And the odd thing is, well, I thought Barack Obama or Randy Scott Traver had put this in my foot, and then the fire was a manipulation to try to manipulate my mother, because Vern bought my mom all new furniture and stuff. She didn't have health insurance all the time at that time. And, I mean, not health insurance, she didn't have renter's insurance. So that's why I think they wanted to get me into an apartment, because I thought that was arson as a manipulation for what was put in my foot like a few years earlier. I think it was arson to manipulate my mother. Vern did it, and then I think the chip in my foot is either through Barack Obama or Randy Scott Traver, is what I'm beginning to think now. And then what happened, Shannon and Kim wanted to be with Rob. So what I think then happened in recent years is that the chips in my hands and in my kids, I think they added the same chip that was in my foot into my left hand, where the important chip that the presidents want to get out. Shannon had, or somebody had put that in there as a sabotage to get to the other one. And I don't want to give up that chip because it was rightfully mine. And it was rightfully given to me, and that's one chip that I want to keep. It protects me, and I know that. That's why I like that chip. And my message to government agencies, I want to see to it, if I get the other ones removed, that one stays intact, or I get a new replacement. If they can't determine that when they're taking them out, then I'd like a replacement, because I'm entitled to have that particular chip, that they know what I'm talking about. It protects me. And just like I've been protected now, I've been able to defend myself, and I've been able to survive. It's helped me to survive, and that's why I want that chip. I want to keep that chip in my body, and I have the right to keep that chip. But it's my understanding that's one of the reasons why they had, with my left hand, put a lot more chips in my left hand to try to get to the one chip that's in there, since that picture with my grandfather and the oval fruit wooden plaque behind him. So that was what they were trying to get at by doing that. As far as the rest of my body, I'm guessing they might have something in my teeth, other than the metal wire in my jaw, which some derelict put in there because they thought there was they'd say it was a grounding wire. It was just kind of a joke of being evil, because you wouldn't need a grounding wire with a pacemaker to kill somebody, obviously, and it would have had to have been somebody with the metal Chinese astrology, which could be kind of obvious because they believe in this Chinese astrology, but there's nothing in the laws that institute that if you're metal that you can kill somebody that's water, because otherwise you'd have people that would be killing each other all the time if you ranked higher on the Chinese astrology, because it goes metal, then it goes water, then it goes wood, and then it goes fire, in that order. And that's not how you go about things. And I don't even know if some of the people's information about their birthdays is even accurate anyway, because well, anyways, but as far as these people pretending to be in my life, Rob, or pretending whatever he's doing, whatever he's done for the past over 20 years of my life, he spent with me. Whatever, I don't know. There's no logic to these people knowing me in my life. As far as people posing as friends, Kim, Tim, Shannon, they all posed as friends. Shannon I knew since the 8th grade. And there's nothing logical about looking for ways to hurt somebody suddenly in their life versus to help them with no warning. And they caused enough problems to hurt me, but they haven't done anything to help me. So that makes no sense. And the same goes for presidents. That makes no sense. They came along and instead of preventing things, they purposely made problems, and that don't make sense to me at all. People don't need to get with other people, as far as Rob's concerned, to have to go to this extreme to try to manipulate and try to get me killed for that particular reason. That makes no sense. They got into my business enough to hurt me out of nowhere, but they never talked to me about anything before. But they got enough in my business to hurt me suddenly because they wanted to be with Rob or whatever, but they never interfered or got in my business to help me at any point. So that doesn't make any sense.